Joseph and the Dreams of Pharaoh. A story from Genesis 41, 157, KJV, retold for families in the land of Egypt. Pharaoh, the mighty king, lay restless in his bed. One night he dreamed a strange dream. He saw 7 fat cows come out of the river grazing peacefully. But then 7 thin and sickly cows came and swallowed the fat ones whole. Yet they remained just as thin and miserable. Pharaoh awoke, troubled. But sleep returned, and so did another dream. This time 7 full ears of corn grew on one stalk, golden and ripe. Then 7 thin ears blasted by the east wind sprang up and devoured the good ones. Pharaoh sat up in the morning, deeply disturbed. He called for all his magicians and wise men, but none could explain the dreams. Then the chief butler who served Pharaoh wine remembered something important. "I do recall," he said, "a young Hebrew man in prison. He interpreted my dream and the baker's, and both came true just as he said." Pharaoh sent for Joseph at once. Joseph, who had been imprisoned for years, was cleaned and dressed and brought before the king. Pharaoh said to Joseph, "I have dreamed a dream, and none can interpret it, but I've heard you can understand dreams." Joseph replied humbly, "It is not in me. God shall give Pharaoh an answer of peace." Pharaoh told Joseph both dreams. Joseph listened carefully, then spoke with calm wisdom. "The dreams are one. God has shown Pharaoh what he is about to do. The 7 good cows and ears of corn are 7 years of plenty. The 7 thin cows and blasted ears are 7 years of famine." Joseph continued, "There will be 7 years of great harvest in Egypt, followed by 7 years of terrible famine. Let Pharaoh choose a wise man to oversee the land. Let him gather food during the good years, so Egypt may survive the hard ones." Pharaoh was amazed. "Can we find such a one as this, a man in whom the Spirit of God is?" he asked. Then Pharaoh turned to Joseph and said, "Because God has shown you all this, you shall be over my house. Only in the throne will I be greater than you." Pharaoh gave Joseph his ring, dressed him in fine linen, and placed a gold chain around his neck. He rode in the 2nd chariot, and all cried before him, "Bow the knee." Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh. He was given a new name, Zaphnath-Paneah, and married Asenath, daughter of a priest. Joseph traveled through Egypt gathering grain during the 7 years of abundance. He stored it in great cities, so much that it could not be counted. During this time Joseph and Asenath had 2 sons. The first he named Manasseh, saying, "God has made me forget all my toil." The second he named Ephraim, saying, "God has made me fruitful in the land of my affliction." Then the 7 years of famine began, just as Joseph had said. In every land people suffered, but in Egypt there was bread. The people cried to Pharaoh, and he said, "Go to Joseph. Do what he tells you." Joseph opened the storehouses and sold grain to the Egyptians. And from all countries people came to Egypt to buy food from Joseph, for the famine was sore in all the earth.